Hawks lose to the Carolina Hurricanes 4-3. The Hawks had multiple leads tonight and blew it in the third period with multiple power plays and couldn't beat Frederik Andersen in that third period. Marc-Andre Fleury looked good for the first two periods until the last period where he let in two softies. Hawks just had it in their hands and came out in the third period looking gassed and fell apart. And coaching decisions in tonight's action kind of can be faulted here too for the Hawks because Jeremy Colleton and his coaching decisions. Scratching Dylan Strome for Jujhar Khaira again. How many times are you going to scratch Dylan Strome after playing well, then you throw him on the fourth line to make him play bad, to then scratch him? There's an issue. Jeremy Colleton needs to cut it out and play an offensive-minded forward over a grinding forward. Play Strome, for crying out loud. I don't know how many times it's going to take to get it through your thick head to play Dylan Strome. He plays better, and he gives you more of an opportunity to win offensively. You have the worst 5-on-5 offense in this NHL. Play offensive-minded forwards, not grinders. There's my tangent for the game. The Hawks played well. They did until that third period where they couldn't get anything past Frederik Andersen. They had the lead multiple times. Kane looked good. DeBrincat was stellar. And the Hawks just couldn't get that fourth goal of the game. Again, how many times is that going to happen this season? Because they've only had a 4-goal performance, and it came against win against the Ottawa Senators. So tonight, the Hawks look good, but they can't get that fourth goal of a game to keep them in action. The first period of play in tonight's action was, quite honestly, one of the most boring hockey games I've seen in a long time. Carolina was playing the trap. The Hawks couldn't beat it. Carolina kept playing the trap, and it just played out to Carolina's hand in that first period. Hawks did have a lead in that period, though. So, let's get to the stats of the game, shall we? 12-6 in favor for the Carolina Hurricanes in the first period. 13-12 in favor for the Hurricanes in the second period. Third period, 7-12 in favor for your Chicago Blackhawks in the third period. Total shots on net, 32-30 in favor for the Hurricanes. The Hawks had multiple power play opportunities in this game and couldn't beat Frederik Andersen. Couldn't beat the Hurricanes' defense. They were playing strong, keeping the Hawks from getting one-timers off in the power play. So the Hurricanes held the Hawks to 0-for-5 on the power play, and most of those power plays came in the third period in the late minutes of the game. For the Hurricanes, they went 0-for-2. Hawks couldn't get set up on their power plays. They had one opportunity where they were moving the puck well, getting set up. But why is Ryan Carpenter on the first power play unit with Taze Kane, DeBrincat, and Jones? There's an issue there. Don't play a defensive-minded forward in the bumper spot of a power play if you're down in a game, Colleton. But they did, and it doesn't help. Play someone like Doc in that power play unit. Hits, 22-27 in favor for the Blackhawks. Face-off percentage, Hawks played well again at the dot. They've been doing that for pretty much this entire season, except for a couple of games. 47.3% of the draws went in favor for the Hurricanes, where the Hawks had 52.7% of the draws went in their favor. Again, the Hawks just can't find a way to keep offensive motivation going if they have the chances. DeBrincat was stellar tonight. He was. Kane was outstanding. He's actually now 1 point away from 1,100 in the NHL. But let's get into the goals of the game, shall we? The Hawks get on the board quick. At 1:35 in the first period, scored by number 12, Alex DeBrincat. His first of the night, fifth of the season, assisted by number 88, Patrick Kane. And number 4, Seth Jones. This goal was really set up by Kane. Kane gets the puck on the blue line in his defensive zone, sees Cat breaking, and sauces it high over Svechnikov's hand. It lands on Cat's stick, and he goes in and beats Frederik Andersen a minute and 35 into the game. So that's good to see. The Hawks are on the board early. Cat gets his first of the game, and the Hawks look like they're rolling. They get a power play. And then this is where the Hurricanes build from. The Hurricanes kill the power play, get momentum from it, go into their offensive zone, win a draw, and leads to Derek Stepan scoring his second of the season, and that's his second against the Blackhawks in just a week, assisted by Tony DeAngelo and Andrei Svechnikov to make it a 1-1 game at 6:25 in the first period. This goal was a whip by DeAngelo, goes over for Stepan because Fleury, he kind of got baited into the whiff of DeAngelo, gets onto Stepan's stick, basically empty net for Stepan. 1-1 game, and we go to the second period. That first period was boring, as I already mentioned. It was just flat out one of the most boring hockey playing periods I've seen in a long time because Carolina played the trap. So, we go to the second period, and the second period shows why the Hawks look like they can potentially do something. At 2:49 in the second period, scored by number 88, Patrick Kane. His fifth of the season, assisted by number 61, Riley Stillman. And number 58, Mackenzie Entwistle. This goal was a goal of redirections. Let's just say this. Entwistle gets it up to Stillman. Stillman rifles it. It was going to go wide, but Kane was in the slot, redirects it towards the net, and it beats Frederik Andersen. Hawks now up by a goal again. Do they blow this 1-goal lead? No, because at 8:24 in the second period, scored by number 12, Alex DeBrincat. His sixth of the season, second of the night, assisted by number 23, Philip Kurashev, and number 86, Mike Hardman, to give the Hawks a 2-goal lead over the Carolina Hurricanes. This goal, frankly, was all on Hardman. He goes driving into the offensive zone. A Hurricane player had the puck on their stick, but Hardman steals it in the offensive zone, leading to a beautiful tic-tac goal situation. Hardman gets in, goes driving in, and feeds it back to Kurashev. Kurashev sees DeBrincat set up, ready to go for a goal, and feeds it across the ice for DeBrincat, and Cat buries it past Frederik Andersen. The Hawks have a 2-goal lead. This is the first time this season the Carolina Hurricanes have been down by a multiple goal deficit. But it's the Hurricanes. They are coached well and they play hard. Because at 12:50 in the second period, Seth Jarvis scores his career first NHL goal, assisted by Derek Stepan. This goal by Jarvis was pretty much a breakaway. He was against Erik Gustafsson. Gustafsson, not the greatest defensive player who is supposed to play defense, gets beat by Jarvis. Jarvis goes in and goes basically right in 5-hole on Marc-Andre Fleury, and the Hawks end this period with a 1-goal lead. So we go into the third period. Hawks still up, but it goes away immediately. 17 seconds into the third period, Jesper Foss scores his 4th of the season, assisted by Svechnikov and Jakub Slavin. This goal was set up by the fact that the Hawks win the face-off and Jake McCabe turns the puck over bad in the neutral zone. Feeds it, tried to go up the ice, and Svechnikov gets it, goes over to Slavin. Slavin takes it over to Foss, and Foss beats Fleury. 3-3, and we're tied. And the Hurricanes now know they have the Hawks on the ropes because at 3:26 in the third period, Martin Necas scores his 2nd of the season, assisted by Aho and Bear, to make it a 4-3 Hurricanes win, basically. The Hawks, Marc-Andre Fleury on this 4th goal against was a rough goal. This was one that Fleury would have to make a save on. He does not. It goes 5-hole, and Fleury tries to go back with his glove behind him. Wasn't enough, and the Hawks are now down by a goal. Hawks get a power play with 6 minutes into the third period. Doesn't do anything with it. The Hurricanes had a couple shorthanded opportunities. Then that was killed. Hawks get another power play. It had some offensive opportunities for the Hawks, and it was killed. And then, with about 5 minutes remaining, the Hawks have a 4-minute power play. They were moving the puck well. They had an opportunity to tie it and could not. They pull Marc-Andre Fleury, and the Hawks go 6 attackers on 4. Was not enough. And the Hawks lose it 4-3 to the Carolina Hurricanes. This was a rough loss by the Hawks, but they were in it. They were for pretty much the entire game. They gave it up. They gave up a lead, and that's what happened. The Hawks lose to the best team in hockey again for a 4-3 loss to the Hurricanes. There's something to build from it, though. The Hawks were in it against one of the top teams in the hockey, the only undefeated team remaining. So there's something to build from there, but it wasn't enough. Now we go to Winnipeg and see what happens there on Friday night. So down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts were from tonight's action, because the Hawks showed some spots where they can shine, but I feel like some coaching decisions and lineup decisions, you should not change your lineup after having your first win of the season, Colleton, and leads to the Hawks losing. So thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, stop messing with the lines, Colleton, and let's go Hawks.